everybody, welcome back to Can You Put Me on Guest List? How are we all? I hope you're all well. Today is just myself again. I did my first solo podcast a few weeks back and I had really good response from that. So a big thank you to everybody that listened. And today I thought I would share some tips for artists that get nervous before being interviewed. Now, the reason I thought I would do this is because I've been interviewing DJs and producers for quite a while now, quite a few years, since 2013. And I've seen a lot of DJs that do get pretty nervous before being interviewed. So I thought that from my experience, I could maybe share a few tips with you. Now, the first thing that I always think is very useful to keep in mind is that at the end of the day, the person that's interviewing you is just a normal human being like yourself. I even get nervous sometimes before interviewing somebody, and I always think to myself, why am I getting nervous? They're just a normal person like I am, and we're both just doing our jobs. So I think that's always quite refreshing to keep in your mind that we're just all doing our jobs. We are all human beings and there's nothing to be scared or to be worried about. The next thing I think is always good to remember that nerves are a good thing. Nerves mean that you are passionate about what you're doing. You want to get it right. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with feeling nervous. It's probably a good thing. It means that you really, really want to do what you're doing well. Next, important, don't get absolutely hammered before an interview. I know a lot of people do it because they think that it's going to calm their nerves, which it probably does. But at the end of the day, you will probably regret it. There's nothing worse than waiting around at a club for a DJ to finish their set and to interview them, and then they turn up and they're absolutely shit-faced. I think it's really unprofessional and you will probably regret it, because at the end of the day, an interview is for you to get yourself out there, for you to get known, and you want to do the best you can, you know? I think if you listen back or you watch back on an interview when you're really, really drunk, you probably will be like, why did I do that? So I think if you have a couple of drinks or you have a couple of shots, nothing wrong with that whatsoever, but just don't get totally hammered. Next, if you want to repeat something in an interview, that is absolutely fine. I think that if you're not happy with how you've said something or how you've come across in an interview, then if you ask the person that's interviewing you if you can repeat that answer, that is absolutely great. At the end of the day, we want the interview to be the best as possible. So if you're not happy with how something's gone, then just repeat it, because everybody will win. It's going to be a great interview and you've come across exactly how you want to. Wear something comfortable. There's nothing worse than sat in an interview and you're fidgeting and you don't feel right and your jeans are too tight or your shoes are hurting or whatever. Especially if it's a video interview, make sure you do feel comfortable so that you'll feel relaxed during the conversation. If you want to know what you're going to be asked beforehand, if that's going to make you feel more relaxed, that's great. If you ask the person if you can see what the questions are going to be. I would never recommend anyone to memorize their answers, because I think then if you kind of forget what you're going to say, it'll kind of throw you off a little bit and it will get you a bit more worked up. So I think it's always good to be familiar with the questions you're going to be asked and what you're going to reply. But I would never memorize them. But if you do want to see them before, then that's absolutely fine. You should definitely just go ahead and ask the person that's interviewing you if you can see the questions. And finally, just breathe and take your time. You're not in a rush. As I said before, this is a great opportunity for you to get known, for people to know more about you. So just do your very best, breathe, take your time, and think about how great you're going to feel once you've absolutely smashed the interview. So they would be my tips. I hope they're useful. If you think they could be useful for a friend or for other artists that you know, please share it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.